Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a very chatty video. This is my last video of 2022, so I wanted to just spend today putting on some makeup and just talking you through what I'm thinking about in terms of like reflections for the year and goals for 2024. This is going to be just super casual, super chatty, so please do feel free to have this on in the background while you're doing other stuff and just listen to me talk, because that's the kind of vibe I'm going for, like a podcast style episode where you don't have to be watching me. I would love to hear what your kind of 2024 goals are, what you're thinking about this time of year. I hope that everyone is doing well. I know that the Christmas period and the kind of New Year period isn't easy for a lot of people, so I hope wherever you are that you are doing okay, and just remember that everything is temporary. And yeah, there have definitely been some Christmases where I felt like I almost don't want Christmas to happen because it just doesn't feel right, so I totally understand how that feels. For context, I am filming this on the 23rd of December, Saturday the 23rd of December, so we are 2 days away from Christmas now, and this year I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling like it's gonna be a good year. I'm feeling positive about kind of the year going into 2024, and I personally really love Christmas. I love the build up to Christmas. It always feels a little bit stressful, but I have finished work for the year now, so I'm fully just into Christmas mode. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to get this video up. It'll probably be, I'm hoping, sometime between Christmas and New Year. So if you are watching this and it's already been and gone, then I hope you had a very Merry Christmas, and yeah, let's just get into it. In terms of products, I'm probably not going to talk through a lot of what I'm doing on my face. Like I said, I just want this to be very chatty and you don't need to watch what I'm doing. So I will leave all the products listed in the description box if you would like to see what I'm using and the shades and everything there as well. If you did want to see more of a talk through makeup video though, I'm going to be using a lot of the same products and techniques I used in my last Get Ready With Me video, where I do talk through all the products, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, etc. When I'm applying them. So definitely go check out that video after this one if you are interested in that. So yeah, like I said, this time of year is really when I start to kind of reflect. I think a lot of people do, but also there's no pressure to do that. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. I think setting New Year's resolutions can be a bit of a Marmite thing. You either think that it's really helpful to kind of think about intentions for the year ahead, or you think they're a complete waste of time because no one ever does them anyway. I think I sit somewhere in the middle. I always like to set goals and intentions for the entire year, but I try to make them achievable and stuff that I know I'm already going to be doing or working on. So I feel at the end of the year I have actually done something. Obviously there's always a few in there that are a bit more aspirational stuff, but I do think that kind of knowing where you're going overall and what you want to achieve at the end of 2024 is just a helpful sort of tool to use. So if there are things that you really want to change about your life, you can start putting those into action. So I do always do a little bit of goal setting, and I really recommend watching Grace Beverly's video. She recently posted a planning video. If you don't know who she is, she's a massive entrepreneur businesswoman here in the UK. She started Tala, which is a kind of women's wear, fitness wear brand. She also has a line of daily planners and stuff like that, and she's really good at explaining the process of planning and why it's helpful. So I recommend going and watching her guided planning for 2024 and what she's doing, because I definitely watched it before sort of thinking about my goals for the year ahead. So first of all, just kind of reflecting on 2023 overall, I feel this year was a really great year in a lot of ways. We bought our first house, we moved in and started settling in and kind of making it our own and making it feel like ours, and that was a really big life goal of mine, to be honest. So that was really, really nice to be able to do that. It was also the year I turned 30, so I feel like kind of I was quite like reflective anyway throughout the year, because I was kind of thinking like, oh my gosh, like I'm coming to the end of this decade, like what have I achieved, what do I want to achieve in the next decade, and kind of thinking about that throughout the year at different periods, kind of coming back around to it. And I definitely felt quite a lot of anxiety about the actual act of turning 30. I don't know why. It was just like that number in my head like held a lot of weight on it, and it felt like I was kind of, I guess I sort of felt a bit at a crossroads in a way, in terms of like leaving my like teenagehood, adolescencehood behind. Like that is well and truly in the past now. I think when you're in your 20s, you still feel like you're sort of finding your feet a little bit. You still feel a little bit like a teenager in a lot of ways. And although I feel like when I hit about 27, 28, that was when I felt like I really started coming out of that phase of like still feeling like completely out of my depth and really like overwhelmed by everything as an adult, to like, oh, I actually feel like I can do some of these adult things now. But then once I like contemplated the thought of actually becoming 30, turning 30, I was like, okay, but I don't feel ready to be 30. Like that feels like a big jump into adulthood. But of course it's not, as any birthday, like it comes and goes and you still feel the same one day to the next. Like it's not like a huge massive leap when you suddenly turn 30 into like being an adult. I think everything in life, that's one thing I have learned from being an adult, is everything in life happens over a long span of time. Like nothing is instant, everything is gradual. Very, very rarely, I think, in anyone's life does something happen where it's like an overnight thing, unless you like suddenly become famous overnight or something like that happens to you. Everything is going to be a process. You're never going to feel like you fully reached, like now you know how to do everything. And I think as a child and even as a teenager and a young adult in your early 20s, you feel like you're going to hit that point at some point and it doesn't end up happening, and then you feel like you're kind of failing in a way because you feel like you don't know how to do anything. But actually like coming to terms with the fact that that's not the case has been very eye-opening, and just knowing like it's okay. You're not gonna feel like everything is done because you've still got a lot to do, and you're not gonna know how to do everything instantly, but like just kind of giving yourself a bit more grace. And like it has taken a lot of work mentally for me to learn like how my brain works and stuff like that. I've done a lot of work throughout my 20s, the latter half of my 20s, on like really figuring out why my brain works the way it does and stuff like that. And everyone has to find their own journey with it. Of course, when my 30th birthday came and went, I didn't feel any different from one day to the next, and I do feel like now I'm fine with it. To be honest, like the week after it happened, I was fine with it. I think it was all in that anticipation of the day itself. I don't know if anyone else can relate to that, but that's how I felt. Anywho, so as I say, this year has been a really big year and a really like momentous year in terms of like reaching life goals, I think. But it's also been quite a stressful year. I was looking back through my goals for 2023 that I set in January, and my like word for the year that I wanted was settle. And in a way I do feel like I have settled a lot, because like I said, we've got this house, we've really made it our own, and when I'm in this house, it really does feel like home, and I feel like I'm fully settled here. But a lot of this year was spent going backwards and forwards and traveling a lot, which was great. I got to see like lots of different countries this year because we managed to fit in a lot of traveling. But I was also like spending a lot of my weekends like traveling around the country to see friends, or celebrating people's birthdays. And like I have just learned that I can't be a really good friend to people if that is my life. I need to have a balance between like weekends at home doing nothing and like really just like resting, and then being able to like be sociable and give 100% of my time and my energy to my friends. And also I want to be able to do that. I love my friends so much, but I've just found it difficult to find that balance this year. I felt like it was either all or nothing. So my word for 2024 is balance. So that is going to be my priority this year. So we have a lot of weddings coming up again this year, and I'm really, really excited for all of them. Like, a lot of my close friends are getting married this year, and my brother is also getting married, which I'm so excited for. But it's going to be a lot again. So my focus this year, and my number one goal for the year, is to achieve a better home life balance. And I've kind of made that phrase up because a lot of people say they want a better work-life balance. I actually feel like my work-life balance is pretty good, but it's my home life balance that is off, because if I spend a weekend traveling, I feel like I'm completely out of sorts with like my home routine and stuff. And obviously when you're going to weddings and stuff, they normally are like weekend occasions because you have to travel to get to the venue. None of our friends like live in the area that we live in, so there's always some traveling involved. You know, it's just going to be a weekend occasion. So just trying to like really make sure that I work in, if I have a weekend traveling for a wedding or a hen party or whatever, then the next weekend I book in that I do nothing and I stay at home and I travel and I don't travel anywhere, and I maybe even like book like one day off work on one side of the weekend. So if I'm like traveling Friday to Sunday, I book the Monday off work so I have some time to like get back into my routine and just chill and something like that. Or if I can't do that, then you know it's not going to be possible every time, but just like really trying to focus on like for myself mentally, and like I say, so I can like fully enjoy the moment of being at that wedding and being at that hen party and being there for my friends. I want to make that a priority and not feel like I'm completely rushed off my feet. I never have any time to spend with Adam. Like, we have really felt that as a couple this year. Like, last year we got married, so I feel like everyone was coming to our wedding last year, and like now the roles have slightly switched, and rightly so, of course. Like, I was so grateful that so many of our close friends and family could be at our wedding, and some people like flew from other countries, and it was such a lovely day, and I was really, really grateful that they all like took the time out of their busy lives to be there for us, and I want to do the same for them. But I also don't want that to be like at the detriment of like my relationship with Adam, because you know, we're unable to like have a date night for like 4 months in a row because we're just like here, there and everywhere, prioritizing everyone else over like our own relationship, if that makes sense. And I feel like there were a few months this year where it did feel like that. And it's not just friends either, it's like family commitments or like work commitments, like anything. It tends to like just be prioritized over like going on a date night for us, because we both work from home during the week, so we feel like we just spend time together anyway. But that's not the same thing as like carving out quality time to go even out for a coffee or like out for a walk together and just like chat. So yes, that is my number one goal, which takes me on to my next big goal for 2024 is to start filming more consistently on YouTube. And I actually think focusing on that first goal of creating a better home life balance will help inform and help me achieve the second goal of spending more time filming YouTube videos, because this is something that I genuinely do because I enjoy it, and it's something that I really get a lot of creative pleasure out of doing, and I hope that you guys enjoy the videos. I know that I just have not been consistent this year on YouTube, and I really haven't had the time mentally like the capacity to like focus on it as a project, because it kind of is like a creative project that I do on the side of everything else. I don't really want it to get to a position where I do make money full time out of YouTube or anything. It'd be nice to like obviously monetize it if I can, but you do have to like make a lot of videos to be able to monetize your YouTube account. And currently my YouTube the amount of videos I make does not meet that threshold. So it would be lovely to get it back up to that threshold, not just because then obviously I can make a little bit of money, and I'm talking like not even really enough to like feed the cat every month. But it's just nice to like feel like you're getting some sort of payback monetarily for the time and effort that you spend creating these videos. I really do just do it for fun. Like I'm still making videos now, even though my videos aren't making me any money whatsoever. So it's not really about that for me. It's just a nice little kickback, a nice little kind of added bonus, let's say. But yeah, I really want to just get back into consistently making videos. I really appreciate everyone that kind of sticks with me through my inconsistency and tunes in when I do post a video, and I see your comments and I see you engaging with those videos, and I just really, really appreciate that I do still have a community on this platform. And I just think I need to prioritize filming, whatever that looks like. So my aim is going to be like 1 video per month. I don't know if I should say that because I feel like I'm probably not going to meet it every single month, and then it puts pressure on me. But that is what I am going to aim for. I mean, ideally, obviously in a perfect world, I would be filming 1 video a week, but that is not realistic. So I'm trying to make, like I said, these goals achievable. And I do feel like a lot of the reason that I haven't been able to film as much, or haven't made the time to film this much, is because I've just felt really burnt out, like I said, on everything else going on. If I am away one weekend, then I can't film at the weekend. I also work 9 to 5, and I like to have a work-life balance, so I don't really want to be working in the evenings filming and editing videos if I can avoid it, because I'd rather spend that time going to the gym and like working on my health and my mental health and like working out. That's what I like to do in the evenings if I have a free evening, or just like resting and watching TV, to be honest, because you also need that for like your mental health. But I do feel like, you know, that comes at a cost to this YouTube platform, because it does take time. I know that it's not really where a lot of the audience is anymore, but it's still where I am. Like, I still watch YouTube. I'm not really on TikTok. I occasionally will like log on and watch something. A lot of the time it's for work, and like I'll film stuff for work for TikTok, but I don't connect with TikTok on a personal level. I just like watching long form content where I can really get to know the person. And I feel like there are still some of you that also like that, because you're still watching my videos. So, but my point is that I guess the benefit of TikTok is that a lot of, not always, because some TikToks take a long time to film, and like I completely appreciate that there are like all different formats of content on TikTok, but I think some of the videos on TikTok are a lot easier to just like film straight away and just like throw out there, and that's obviously beneficial for the algorithm as well. They're going to show you to more people and stuff. So yeah, ideally I would be filming like YouTube videos once a week, so the algorithm would like boost my videos and show them to more people, but that's not where we are in life. So yeah, unfortunately there is just kind of a part of you that wants your channel to do well, and people keep watching and the audience keep growing. But I need to remember that you guys, the audience that already exists here, is a loyal, dedicated audience already. So yeah, it's okay. Like, if I can just put up 1 video a month and keep you guys as an engaged audience, like that would be really great. Yeah, just get back to feeling like I have a creative outlet, you know, in a different way than what I do at work. So I'm a social media manager for the charity that I work for. And so I'm creating a lot of content through that, but a lot of it is like writing copy and writing content and doing videos and stuff as well. But a lot of it is like not stuff that I create featuring myself, because it wouldn't make sense for the organisation I work for me to be in the content. So it is quite different to what I do here on YouTube. And I just really like having this as like an alternative creative outlet. So yeah, I think I would like to try doing weekly vlogs or a weekly vlog and just see if that format works a little bit better, because I have felt a bit lost about what to film, if I'm honest. And thinking about stuff to film or like trying to come up with ideas has been really tough for me, because I feel like my interests have changed a lot since I started my channel, and I'm not, in my personal life, I'm into makeup in terms of like, I love watching makeup reviews and stuff like that, but I've never really been that channel that like buys all the new products like when they come out and like has to review them and stuff. But I'm like even less so now, because I just kind of know what works for the look I want to achieve, and I've really like pared back the amount of makeup I own and the amount of makeup that I buy and the brands that I buy from as well. So it doesn't really feel right to be just a makeup channel anymore, which is why I've been doing more chatty videos like this. But I do feel like I need to find a different kind of format. I've said this before, but basically all I watch is vlogs. And I just feel like vlogs are very time consuming and like mentally time consuming, but I would like to try a weekly vlog format, because I feel like then you can just film like little bits throughout the week. I've only ever done like daily vlogging where you're vlogging the entire day, and that is just like quite intense. So watch this space. I'm hoping that this year I can try it out. Watch me like not try it out till like August, but no pressure on myself, but it's something that I would like to creatively experiment with this year. The other like big goal I have for this year is finishing everything we want to do with the house. So yeah, like I said, we have been working a lot on just like making the house feel like our own. It's mainly, to be honest, it's mainly been furniture buying. We did get the whole house painted when we moved in, but we haven't had to do like major renovations or anything like that. We got like new blinds installed, little things like that. So we have had to spend money, because we've been spending money on like good quality furniture and things like that, but we haven't had to do any like knocking down of walls or like putting new flooring in and stuff. So there are a few things left on our list that we would like to try and do next year. The first big thing we're going to try and do is a living room refresh. We do want to replace our sofa. So we bought our sofa fairly cheaply. It's not like a super expensive. I think we got it from Harvey's, which is like a furniture store here in the UK. I don't actually think they exist anymore. I think they went into administration. Yeah, we got it when we first moved in to our first flat. So that was what, like 6 years ago at least. It's come along with us, I think, on like 4 different moves. And it's seen better days, let's put it that way. It's not really the colour that I wanted when it arrived. I wasn't really enamoured by the colour. It's really hard buying sofas because you have to go off tiny little swatches, and it was the first thing that we bought for our flat, so I didn't like really know what it would look like in the space, where I think now I have a bit more experience buying furniture, I can kind of like picture colours and stuff together, so I have a better idea of like what colour scheme I would want to go for now. So yeah, we're going to replace that in the new year with some new sofas that just like fit better in the living room that we have now, because the one also that we had was bought for our first flat for that space, and it really doesn't work in the space that we have in our existing living room. So yeah, that's kind of the first big purchase we need to make in 2024, and kind of, yeah, we need to get like a new TV stand and stuff like that, just to like refresh the living room and make it feel, like I said, just feel like our own. We also want to replace our bathtub. So the bathtub itself is just quite, it's not the best. It's not really big enough for Adam to like lie in because he's 6 foot. So we want to get one that's quite a lot deeper. Like a lot of the like grouting and stuff is just quite gross around it. So we just want to get something that works a bit better for like our needs. Those are our top 2 priorities. The things that I would also like to do, but they're kind of like nice to haves, is replace the flooring in our hallway. So at the moment we have like a grey laminate floor, wood effect laminate floor in there, and I want to replace it to like a true wood colour, like a light wood flooring, probably laminate again, just because it's more to my taste more than anything. But yeah, need to like get quotes and all of that kind of stuff. And then the other big thing we want to focus on is the driveway. It just doesn't look the nicest at the moment, so I think we're just going to get really simple, like the whole thing tarmacked with like a path going up to the like gate behind it. So yeah, also want to get a quote for that. But like those are like, once I think we've done those 4 things, the house will feel pretty much complete. Like I don't feel like we'll need to do anything, especially like definitely not in like our current setup. Like maybe in the future, years down the line when we have children and stuff, we might need to then like rethink the layout and things. But I definitely see us staying in this house for a really long time because I just love being here so much, and I love the location. It's so convenient to get to like Manchester and the Trafford Centre, and it's just really nice having all those things on my doorstep, because for so long I lived in the countryside and I just didn't have amenities on my doorstep, which is obviously, it has a lot of pros living in the countryside. It's stunning and beautiful there, but just for me personally, I never felt like it fulfilled my needs as a person. Like I want convenience. Also, being able to afford a house like the one that we're living in is not something we would have been able to do if we lived down south. So very, very grateful that we have this house now and that we can even think about doing those things, because I feel like if we lived down south we would have spent like all our available money on the house itself and like not have any thing left over to do projects like that. So I just put a little bit of lip liner and lip gloss on, and that is my makeup done. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Those are like my top 3 goals for 2024. This was a very long rambly video, so I hope it wasn't too boring, but yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it if you're just listening to it in the background or watching it. Thank you so much. I do have like some other goals on my list, but we've come to the end of the makeup, so I'm gonna stop there with like my top 3. And yeah, I hope that you have a very healthy and happy start to the new year and are excited about the year ahead. And just remember, if you're not, everything is temporary. There is always a way through. Let me know what your goals for 2024 are in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, thank you so much again for the support this year, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.